Good evening, everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Please respond. All right. So let's start with the today's session. So in the last session, we had discussed basically all the questions we had discussed around 8 to 9 questions, and all the questions were single individual questions based on the case study. So what we are going to do today, we are going to do a case studies, we are doing only 2 sets, each set having 5 questions. All right. So let's start with the first set. For the first set, I'm going to give you approximately 15 minutes, and then no one will mark the answers here. No one will write the answers in the chat. And after 15 minutes, I'll open the poll for 2 minutes in which you can mark your answers for all the 5 questions at once. All right. And those who are using mobile phone, please do not use the mobile phone. Okay, because this particular feature which I'm going to use, that is not available in the mobile phone. So I'll say please switch to the laptop. Okay, discussion you can definitely see on the mobile phone. Okay, because in mobile phone there is no feature of browsing the PPT on your phone at your end. So here this is the first set, I'll say, which has got question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it has got 5 questions. So for these 5 questions, I'm going to give you approximately 15 minutes. So should we start now? Please tell me. So fans, you can switch to the laptop in case you want to access this PPT at your end. Otherwise, you can participate in the discussion. All right. So right now the time is 9:10. So I'm giving you 9:10 to 9:25. Okay. So you have got exactly 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, we'll start with the discussion. So let me give you the privileges. Please see. Please check whether you all can navigate through the slides. You all can see all the slides at your end. Okay. Those who are using mobile phone, they can't navigate because that feature is not available on the mobile phone. So please start now. I will start with the discussion exactly after 15 minutes. So please start. Okay, so let's start with the poll. The poll will be open for exactly 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, you need to mark the answer of all the 5 questions. Okay, and then we'll start with the discussion. Please start. Mark your answers, all of you, quickly. Last 1 minute. Please mark your answers quickly. 4 of you have not even started. Please start it and finish it quickly. 3 of you have not even participated in the poll. Do know what the change. Okay, last 18 seconds. All right. So now let's start with the discussion. So let's talk about first of all the question number one. For question number one, what I can see on the screen here is that, okay, 0% of you had marked option number one. Okay, 0% of you had marked option number one. 0% of you had marked option number two. Okay. 33% of you had marked option number three, and 50% of you had marked option number four, and 3% of you had marked this one, and remaining 13% no answers. So we have just got a statistic, 13% of you have marked. We have decided to make the questions. Okay. So let's see what is the answer here. Since none of you had marked option number 1 and 2, so of course these two options are not right. So does anyone want me to discuss these two options? Please tell me. Does anyone want me to discuss these two first options and the second options? No. Okay. Take it. So I'm not going to explain the first option and the second. Okay. Now here the question says, which of the following would you say was the reason for the failure of the Anistia's new look campaign? First, the campaign was essentially based on a brand that had lasted in the market for several years and had outlived its utility. Okay. Second, the campaign failed to take account of the number of choices available to the customer because of the globalization and import. Okay. Thank you. Third option, it says the campaign concentrated only on the packaging and not on improving the product anyway. Now, if you look at here, it says, which of the following could you say the reason for the failure of Anistia new look campaign? Okay. If I read, let me first of all read this entire passage here. Feathers is a skin lotion introduced in the market in 1985. The skin lotion was targeted at women between 15 and 30. Feathers had an attractive pink, okay, it had an attractive pink plastic container and had a stylish image. It became popular in the market overnight. Feathers was at first popular in the metros but soon acquired an all India presence. In a short time, the product was able to garner 5% share in the national market. Feathers continued to maintain this share without any trouble for, okay, there was no trouble, without any trouble from the competitors for about 20 years. The product has undergone several changes in its composition. Okay, it says the product has undergone several changes in its composition and packaging several times over the years. It was made healthier and more friendly with constant research and development assisted by the new technologies. Okay. However, the company retained the basic look and the feel of the product. Okay, the company, it retained the basic look and the feel of the product. The product remained the favorite of all women in the target group in all the season. After 20 years of enjoying this popularity, in the year 2005, the sales of the feathers started declining. The company noticed a steady decline in the demand for some time, and in 2007, they decided to address the problem when the Anistia was become the brand manager. Okay, so in 2007, Anistia's first step was to change the packaging, which she felt was somewhat out of tune with new self-reliant women. Now that is very, very important. The ad agency for feathers come out with an attractive new packaging. Okay, so the ad agency came out with an attractive new packaging and ran a campaign to introduce the new packaging. However, there were problems in the marketing setup because most people were so used to the pink plastic bottles with a picture of beautiful face with very pronounced features and the highly contrasted black lettering that they found it difficult to identify with the new packing. The new packing with slightly large fashionable bottles. Okay, the new packing with slightly large fashionable bottles with the pictures of spring flowers and the red letterings had no effect on the sales. The decline in sales continued. Anistia wondered whether the campaign was successful at all, whether people had noticed the change. She analyzed the competition in the market. They were basically Now that is also important. They were basically no threat to the feathers at all. All were newer than feathers. Some of them had capitalized on the herbal natural aspects and sold at the murderous price. Others were cheaper and sold heavily. Feathers was always a premium and high quality product and cost at least 20% more than its nearest competitor and had made no major change in the marketing strategy. Now, that line is important. It had made no major changes in the marketing strategy for the product over the years. The strategy was clearly not working anymore. Anestia wants to desperately reverse the trend that Feathers was doing. Now, coming back to the questions, those who had marked option number 3. Okay. The campaign concentrated on packaging and not on improving the product in any way. Okay. The question is talking about what is the failure of the new campaign. Now, not improving the product. Okay. You are saying that not on improving the product. But if you read here, somewhere it has been written, not on this slide. We can see. Okay. The product had undergone several changes in its composition. So how can you say that the product was not improved? Those were marked option number 3, that the campaign does not concentrate on improving the product. So the product has been improved here. Yes or no? Yes, of course, this is before Anestia, but product has been improved. No? Anestia noticed that this one. Okay, so the decline in sales was happening before Anestia had joined. Isn't it, Asima? Or the decline, the sales decline after she had joined? No, the decline is happening from the last couple of years. And she decided to, okay, solve this particular issue here. So now tell me, can the answer be option number 3? Okay. Also, okay, so the answer can't be option number 3. Any doubts to anyone in this case? So the answer can't be option number 3. So we know that the answer can't be option number 1, it can't be option number 2, it can't be option number 3. So, and now the 2 options are left out with option 4. The option 5 says the campaign failed into account the Feathers was costlier than most other similar products here, which may have adversely here. Now remember, the first of all, new look campaign, failure of the new look campaign. And what is the failure? That there is a decline in sales, and this decline continues. Even after the new campaign, the sales has not been improved. So whether the cost was important or not, we can't say anything. Okay. The campaign completely ignored the factors that caused the decline in the sales. So first of all, we need to identify if there is a decline in the sales, if it is happening for the last 2 years, okay, the sales has decreased. So first of all, I think it's better to identify what is the reason behind decline. What is the reason that the sales has declined? So first you need to identify what is the reason that the sales is declining. I cannot make an assumption, okay, the sales has been declined because the look of the bottle or because of the quality or because of the cost or anything else. So first we need to identify what is the reason behind this one. And they have formed a new campaign besides, okay, they have launched a new campaign without discussing that what is the reason behind the decline in the sales. So that's why the correct answer should be option number 4. So the answer for this question is nothing but that is option number 4. Is that clear to all of you? Okay. Because if the sales decline, then you need to identify the reason why the sales is declining. You cannot make an assumption, okay, that because of the product manufacturing, because of the quality or because of the cost or because of any other particular reason. So can I move to the next question, question number 2? Any doubts to anyone? Now, in question number 2, if I look at the result of the poll, I'm just going to share the data first of all. 20% of you had marked this one, option number 1, 17% marked option number 2, 40% of you had marked 3, and 0% has marked this one, and 7% of you had marked option number this, and 17% of you had marked no answer. Okay, 17% did not mark. All right, let's start here. It says, in your opinion, which of the following encapsulates, which of the following encapsulates the flaw in the Anestia, the campaign? Okay. So first of all, I need to identify what is the flaw in the campaign. Okay. Encapsulates, so the meaning of the word encapsulates is nothing but as a capsule, to enclose something as a capsule, or you can say to express the essential feature. That's it. Okay. So I need to identify the flaw. in the campaign. Okay? Let's talk about what is the flaw in this campaign. Okay? The first point, it says it was out of tune with the changing customer needs. Okay, let me see here. It was based on the brand image that was stuck in the past. Okay. The new bottle level and colors were difficult to identify with. Okay. It could not compete with the international brand and the marketing, and none of it concentrated on customer orientation rather than on the brand image. Okay. Okay. First of all, remember when you do a marketing campaign, okay, the campaign is based on what? Okay. If I wanted to do a marketing, any one of you, okay, if you want to do a marketing campaign, okay, it will be based on a survey, it will be based on a research. Yes, that's right. Customer need, yeah. Like Manek, Rakshit, and Subham have said rightly that the flaw, okay, the marketing, okay, a marketing campaign, okay, you can say that a marketing campaign, okay, it needs basically, it depends upon your customer needs. Okay. It depends upon the customer. That what does actually needed by the customer. Depending upon that, we need to basically make a marketing campaign so that the sales will get increased. Okay. So if I look at it, like most of your mark, or none of you had marked option number 4. So anyone want me to discuss option number 4? ठीक है नो ठीक है ऑप्शन नंबर 4 वैसे भी रिजेक्ट कर सकते हैं जस्ट so we can reject option number 4 right away. None of your marks, so there is no doubt to anyone in option number 4. Now, when it comes to option number 5, it says after that, it concentrated on the customer orientation rather than the 5. Okay, if you look at here, the campaign, it does not, like I said, had it been on the customer needs, so probably it would have been the successful. It says that it concentrates on the customer orientation. No, rather than on the brand image. It actually concentrated on the brand image. It actually concentrated on the brand image. Why? If you look at here, you can see here, last line. Had no major changes in the marketing strategy for the product over the years. So in the marketing, when it comes to the marketing strategy, there was no change in the product over the order. So basically it is contradicting. So that's right. So that's why the answer can't be option number 5. So it is basically focusing on the brand image, not on the customer orientation. Okay. So had it been on the right path, or maybe if the campaign was concentrated on the customer orientation, it would have been successful. So that's why the answer can't be option number 5. Now we are left up with option number 1, 2, and 3. Option number 2, like you said, it was based on the brand image that was stuck in the past. No. I think no, it was based on the brand image that was stuck in the past. No, they had actually tried to change the image. Yes or no? The changes, all the changes has been made in the campaign. If you look at it, the ad agency for feathers comes out with an attractive new packaging and ran a campaign to introduce the new packaging. So you can't say that it was based on the brand image that was stuck in the past. Okay. They are planning to give a new image this year, but that has been contacted. So the answer can't be option number 2. Any doubts to anyone in 2, 4, and 5? Please tell me before I discuss 1 and 3. Pakka? Okay. Because they changes only the packaging part. That's right. They changes only the packaging part. Why did they change the packaging part, Rohit? To give a new image to that particular product. Okay. And the reason is that maybe it might be possible that the Anistia has realized that, that since the brand image is already stuck in the people's mind in the past, and that's why sales is not happening, and that's why she tried to change it to the campaign. So thank you. Now, let's talk about option number 1 and 3. Can you say the option number 3, which says the new bottle, level, and colors were difficult to identify with? So the new bottle, labels, and the colors were difficult to identify with. So tell me whether the option number 3, is it a flaw with the product, or is it a flaw with the design of the bottles, or is it a flaw with the campaign? Option number 3. Please tell me. What does option number 3 say? Is it the flaw with the design or the flaw with the campaign? Design flaw. So option number 3 basically highlights the flaw in the design, not in the campaign. So the answer can't be option number 3. So the correct answer for this question is option number 1. It was out of tune with the changing customer needs. Like we have discussed in the very beginning that in marketing campaign, it basically depends upon the customer needs. So the answer is option number 1. Is that clear now? Can I move to the next question? Anyone has any doubts, please ask me before I move to the next question. Let's move to the question number 3. Let me save the data. Let me give you an idea what other people are thinking. So, option number 1 was marked by 10% of you. Okay. Option number 2 was marked by 43% of you. Option number 3 was marked with 17% of you. And option 4, 10%. And option 5, 7%. And 13% of you did not mark. They have decided to leave the questions. Okay, that's perfect. Now, let's start with the discussion. It says, which of the following description best suits the brand in the above cases here? Okay. So the question is talking about which of the following description best suits the brand in the above case here. So basically, we are talking about the brand image. Am I right? Okay, what is the image of that particular brand? Yes or no? So in the question, we need to identify what kind of image that brand is carrying. Okay. If you look at here, the important thing here. Let me go through this one and highlight that point. Just a minute. The second line, if you look at here, this particular line. Anish's first step was to change the packaging, which she felt was somewhat out of tune with the new self-reliant women. Okay? And here, Phil had an attractive pink plastic container and had a stylish image. So you need to concentrate the self-reliant women because she wanted to create such type of image, self-reliant women. Okay, with a new self-reliant women. Now, so can anyone tell me what is the meaning of this self-reliant women? Okay, what do you mean by the term self-reliant? Can we say independent women? Yes or no? Okay, it is talking about nothing but they are basically talking about the self-reliant or someone who relies on own power and resources than on the others. So it is basically talking about the independent women nowadays. So which of the following description best suits the brand in the above case? Now tell me what should be the answer. As very few of you had marked option number 5, so a personal care brand in which the price is as important as the quality of the product between the customer. Okay. But nowadays, I think option number 5, you can say that is already given in the passage. Okay, it's a correct analysis also. Okay, that you can say a personal care branding with the price is as important as the quality of the product. That's perfectly okay, and that might be one of the reasons that is the declining in the sales here. But when it comes to about the brand image, is it the brand image? No, brand image is about self-reliant and independent women. So option number 5, it can't be the answer. Clear arrangement? Anyone want to discuss option number 5? If anyone has any doubts, please ask me. This can't be the answer. You need to talk about which option is saying self-reliant and independent women. If anyone want to change the answer. Option number 1, a skin cream which young women uses in order to ensure that they are well groomed. No. Like I say, it is not talking about independent women. A personal care brand, third option, for which attractiveness of the package is more important than the quality. No. Okay. Packaging as well as the quality, both is important. That's why they keep on doing the research year by year and they keep on improving the composition as well as the here. So the answer can't be option number 3. Okay. So it is when it comes to it is correct about the style statement, that is perfectly okay. Okay, but about the packaging, that is not important. That it is quality, packaging is more important than the quality, that is not important. So we are left out with option number 2 and 4. Any doubts to anyone in these three options? If you want to discuss, if you want to put your points, you can write down your points. Now, option number 2 says a personal care brand for which quality is as important as the attractiveness of the package. But I think option, okay, and then it says a personal care brand which is also a lifestyle product, which makes a statement about the personality of the user. So which of the options out of these two options talks give importance to this independent movement, self-reliant movement? Option number 2 or option number 4? Okay. Of course, the answer is option number 4. Option number 2 is a very, very general statement that the quality is as important as the attractiveness of the package. That's a general statement which is true for any skincare product. Yes or no? Which is true for any personal care brand or any skincare product. So the correct answer for this question is, of course, option number 4. So let me mark the answer. Any doubts to anyone? Okay. Let's move to the next question, question number 4. Okay. First of all, let me give you the data of the result. Question number 4, 20 option A, 27% of you are saying this, 7% of you are saying this, 0% of you are saying this, 37%, and 17%. Okay. As we have discussed in the past couple of questions in details here, what was the problem faced by the company? Can anyone tell me? We know that there is a declining sales. Like 27% of you we had marked declining sales. The sales has been declining. But what is the reason behind? What is the reason that the sales is declining? Can anyone tell me? What is the reason that the sales is declining? That is given in the option number 4. So that is the basic problem of this problem faced by the company, not the declining in sales. The answer is option number 4. Is that clear to all of you? Okay. Any doubts to anyone? Okay. Okay, marketing focus replaces sales focus. Falak is saying also marketing focus replaces sales focus. Is it in the passage kahin pe given hai kya? I think sales focus probably replaces marketing focus. नहीं ऐसा तो कहीं नहीं है Falak. I don't think so. That marketing focus replacing sales focus. Sales is declining, but Sahil, why is the sales declining? Is this a bigger problem or the declining sales is the bigger problem? Do we want to find out the reason that why the sales is declining? Okay. So the question here is, what would you say the problem faced by the company? The problem, what is the major problem? This is just a symptom of that problem, that the sales has declined. The basic question arises that why the sales has been declined, why the sales is not happening. Even after giving a new market campaign, still the sales did not pick up. So why there is no sales? So पहले तो मुझे ये identify करना पड़ेगा ना. So you can say that basically that the first option is nothing. It is basically a symptom of a problem with the brand, the marketing campaign. Okay, I hope that you got it. Falak and Sahil. So anyone has any doubts? Okay. Now, question number 5. Let me share the data first of all with all. So 0%, 3%, 20%, and 13%, and 43%. All right, let's discuss that. It says several possible solutions are suggested for anesthesia after taking all the details of the case into consideration. You need to choose for the answer the combination that lists the solution and the contingency plans. Okay. So there are two things which are important here. First, I need to, the first statement is the solution and then its contingency plan. In that order. Solution and the contingency plan in that order. Okay. ठीक है. So the first statement, it says what? Reduce the price of the feathers to make it competitive to the nearest market. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the first of all the contingency plan? Contingency plan is nothing but basically the plan for the future. Yes or no? Okay. A plan for the future. I can write down a plan for the possible future event. So the first statement is okay. So you are saying that reduce the price of feathers to make it competitive to the nearest plant. So do you think that just by reducing the price of the feathers, it's a short-term solution? The sales will get increased? Okay. Option number B, statement B, relaunch feathers as a broad category of skin creams with a variance to suit different skin types and for different seasons. And C, after conducting a market survey for identifying the proposals that would appeal to the end users, reposition feathers. Okay. Can you say that when it comes to the option number C, that after conducting a market survey for identifying the proposals that would appeal to the end users, try to reposition feathers. So is it possible in the short term or it's the long term solution? Because doing a survey, doing a marketing survey, and then it is going to take a lot of time. So the statement number C, it can't be a short term solution. Can it be? Please tell me. Okay. Option number A, it says reduce the price of feathers to make it competitive to the nearest one. So just by reducing the price, remember one thing. Yes, that's right, Soma. Reducing the price can lead to a decline in the quality. So that's why reducing the price is not feasible here. But instead of reducing the price, I can say the short-term solution might be the statement number B, relaunch feathers as a broad category of skin creams with variants to suit different skin types and for different seasons. For example, if I take an example of this, there is a toothpaste Colgate. You must have heard about the Colgate. Yes or no? So initially, if you go back 20 or 30 years back, there used to be only Colgate. Okay? Colgate was the leader in that particular toothpaste segment. Okay? Then there comes to be Close-Up. And Close-Up has launched what? With a new marketing campaign. I'll not say new marketing campaign, with a red colored, this one a very, very attractive packaging, and then red color ka wo tha. So after that, Colgate also decided to move into the different segment. Okay? Maybe some herbal toothpaste, some other sort of toothpaste. There are a lot of, yes, gel, that's right, Pooja. Colgate gel, Colgate blue colored gel, and this one, Namak hai. There are a lot of campaigns here. So what I think the short-term solution here is, that probably you can relaunch the product, the same product, okay, under the different category. Okay. And the long-term solution is after conducting market survey, do a market survey, okay, and then try to reposition the feathers. That is basically it's going to take a lot of time. So the correct answer should be actually option number 4, B and C. C should be the contingency plan and B should be the solution, right, which can be done. Because just by reducing the price, we can't say anything, because it might be possible that by reducing the price, the quality can be deteriorated. So it's better to go for this and relaunch. Okay, any doubts to anyone now? So out of 5, how many of you have got all 5 correct, or 4 correct, or 3 correct? Shubham has got 3, Atul has got 3, Rohit 3, Palak 3, okay, Rakshit 3. So do not worry, slowly and gradually, okay, you will see the improvement. Okay. Okay. So can we move to the next set, the second set, the next set of the 5 questions? So this is the second set. All right. So right now the time is 9:57. There are again 5 questions. I'm going to give you 15 minutes and then followed by 2 minutes of this one. So right now the time is 9. I can say 9:58 to how much? 10:30. So you all can start now. Okay, and I'm pausing the recording. I'm just going to pause the recording. So whenever we start with the discussion, just remind me to start the recording. Okay. Let's see whether you all have got access to the slides. Can you navigate through the slides? Let me see. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So please start all of you. So I'm going to open the poll and you all can mark your answers. Please start marking your answers. All of you. Please mark your answers, all of you. Okay. Am I audible to all of you? This is one. So let's start with the discussion now. First of all, let's go through this one. It says ABC Cements acquired 35 acres of land at a considerable cost at Sultanpur in 1995. Sultanpur on the National Highway. So Sultanpur is on the National Highway, was about 60 miles away from the nearest industrial town of Sultanpur. It had taken some time for ABC Cements to acquire the necessary land and permission to set up a cement plant. Okay, so they had taken a permission to set up a cement plant owing to the resistance from an insignificant. Okay, so there was a resistance from an insignificant section of the local population. Right? The village's livelihood come from the innumerable orchards in the area producing tropical fruits. Okay. Also, environment groups in the town of Lodha had vehemently campaigned against the cement plant, arguing that the cement plant would not only destroy the native beauty of the villages, but also deprives the local of their livelihood. The group also warned of the harmful population. So few people were against that. Environmental groups were also against that. However, discussion with the management of the ADC Cements, wherein the management explained the kind of the technology that will be used in the plant, the environment group toned down their registrations. Okay. So after discussion with the management of ADC Cement, the environmental groups toned down their registrations. Further, the group prevailed upon the management to accommodate in its workforce all the employable villagers, providing them a livelihood. Okay. That if the company is going to set up their factory there, so they should provide a livelihood to all the employable villagers. The plant was commissioned soon after with the latest available technology. So it has been commissioned with the latest available technology. And Chief Minister of the state was requested to inaugurate the plant in 2000. By 2007, the company has employed about 900 local residents and had invested 100 crores in the plant. However, in spite of cutting-edge technology, so they are using the latest available technology, the plant emitted large amount of pollution and caused loud noise and constant vibration. The noise could be heard in all the nearby villages, and at times the vessels rattled in their kitchens because of the vibration. At night, the noise and the vibrations were enough to disturb one's peaceful sleep. Okay. Unofficially, the management was apprised of this several times by the workers and some of the executives, but the management could not find a solution to reduce the noise or the pollution. So management was not able to find a solution to reduce the noise of the pollution. When the workers' union made the first official complaint to the management shut down operation for 3 days for maintenance, and 3 days later, when the production resumed, the noise and the pollution continued. Since then, for over a year, the plant continued the production. Some of the members of the worker union approached the environmental groups, and in support with the environmental groups, the local residents have now filed a suit against the company, claiming that the loud noise and the vibrations were harming their health and property. The suit asked the court to issue an injunction that would close down the plant until the pollution and the vibration could be eliminated. Suit asked. This is the suit which they had filed. The company was already using the best available technology, which means that the suit was asking that the plant be closed down indefinitely. However, the cost of closing the plant outweighed the benefit to the gained by the residents. All right. Now let's start with the questions. Question number 6. Question number 6. It says 3% of you had marked option number 1, 45% of you had marked option number 2, 16% of you had marked option number 3, 3% of you had marked this, and 19% of you had marked this, and 13% did not. The question says the option below gives the combination of possible root cause of the problem. What is the root cause of the problem? And the justification of that problem. The detail of the case could best support which one of the following. Ideally, if you look at here, okay, whether the option number 1, it says license given to the ADC civils, okay, or the location of the plant, the location chosen for the plant was unsuitable for industrial activities, or upgrade of the technology at the plant, this was done with actual understanding the consequences here. Okay, and you can say this one. Option number 4, the lack of authority of environmental groups used to use it. So can you say everything is nothing but basically it's all about the government policies? Okay. Who is going to give the license to the ADC cement? Please tell me. Who is going to give the license to the ADC cement? Yes, of course the government. Okay. Madam, I can say easily that almost for everything, whatever it has been covered in the first 4 options, that is a part of the government policies here. So the major issue is the policy of the government. Okay. So option number 5, it almost, I'd say, almost includes all the options. But anyway, let's start with the first option. So option number 1 can't be the answer. Okay. You all agree with me? Because if the license is going to be given to the ADC cement, it is government is going to give the license. Yeah? All right. So government needs to formulate a policies. Second says that the location of the plant, the location chosen for the plant was unsuitable for industrial activities. Again, I'll say it's a very, very general statement. For example, instead of the cement plant, if there is a food processing plant. Okay, so even if you go for a food processing plant, because there are a lot of orchards in that particular area, so it might exploit the natural occupation of the residents. Okay. So answer option number 2 भी नहीं होना चाहिए, because location of the plant is not important here. And who has decided about the location of the plant? It's the location of the plant. So government has agreed with the location of that particular plant. So you can say that is also another reason that answer can't be option number 2. Option number 3, upgrade of the technology at the plant. This was done without actually understanding the consequences. Now remember one thing, every industry needs to upgrade. for their business. So option number 3 can't be the answer. Upgrade of the technology at the plant. This was done without actually understanding the consequences. No. The lack of authority of the environmental groups, ये तो वैसे भी नहीं हो सकता है, ठीक है. The best answer in this case is of course option number 5. Now, if anyone wants me to discuss in detail, इसके अलावा 3 seems to be true. Okay, we'll discuss that. So you are saying that the root cause of the problem is the upgrade of the 2 is a general statement. Okay, 2 is a general statement. The location of the plant. Okay, it's very general. Now, when you say it's option number 3, upgrade of the technology at the plant, this was done without actually understanding the consequences. Now remember the upgradation is because remember for any business, whenever you are trying to set up an industry in Chika and they upgrade it for the business and for the cost benefit, everything. Had this plant will be located at somewhere else, and if the operation had been running smooth, then you can't blame the upgradation is the major issue. Okay, Rohit? So that's not a major issue. Yes, that's right. Sugam is right. Also, upgraded technology gets them the approval from the environment. So it can't be this. So can we move to the next question? Question number 6. Oh, sorry, question number 7. Okay. Let me share the data first of all. That is important to understand. In question number 7, none of you had marked option number 1. So 0% of you had marked option number 5. 26% of you had marked option number 2. 10% of you had marked option number 3. 39% and 13%. And rest of you 13% did not mark any answer. Let's see. It says if the management was seriously desirous of finding a solution to the problem, so they are seriously desirous of finding the solution to the problem, it could do which of the following? Okay. Now, whatever the solutions they are trying to find out, it actually depends upon 2 things. Okay. The company, okay, the factory should be also beneficial as well as the person, because there are 900 local residents are there who are working in that company. So it should be beneficial to both of them. Okay, the manager, or sorry, the management as well as the local workers also. It should be beneficial to both of them. So when it comes to the first option, the management could shut down the plant permanently and try to relocate. Okay. So what is going to happen here? If the management decided to shut down the plant permanently and try to relocate, now first of all, try to understand the relocation is going to cost a lot of money. They have already spent, I think, hundreds of crores, something like that. Yes or no? अगर मैं पढ़ता हूँ कहीं पे तो ये मेंशन था hundreds of crores has been already spent. Okay. So anyway, so a lot of money has been already spent. Third para. Yes, about 100 crores has been already invested in plant. So relocating is not a solution. Okay. Relocating and shutting down the permanently, that is not going to be the beneficial to the management at all. So that's why the answer can't be option number 1. Okay. Also remember one thing, Rajendra. If the relocation happens, what will happen to the 900 local people? Okay. What will happen to those 900 laborers? Okay. Their job is, they are completely out of the job. So what are they going to do? Okay. And probably just one of the examples came in my mind, which happened in the Mumbai, a long time back, probably in the 60s and 70s, all the cotton mill clothes, it has been shut down. Do you know that? I think it was happened in the 60s. Those who are from the Mumbai, they must be knowing that I do not remember the exact year, but it was probably in the 60s and 70s. And because of that, a lot of people get unemployed. And what they have done, they have, one of them was Arun Gawli also. If anyone has watched the movie Daddy, they must be knowing that what is the reason that he has become Arun Gawli. Yes, that's right. Because of the unemployment. So unemployment to the 900 people, that will also give a rise in the crimes and other things might happen. Okay. So now tell me, I think the best answer should be, which is beneficial for both of them, should be the option number 3. That's right. Best option is option number 3. Okay. Because in the night the issue is very high. So the management could suspend operations after midnight. Okay, in that case there will be a slightly loss for the management, but then it is beneficial for the workers. So both of them are compromising. The management is also compromising; they are not working in the night, as well as they are also compromising. So the best answer should be option number 3. Anyone want me to discuss any of the options? Any other option? Answer can be option number 2, 3, sorry, 2 and 4 and 5. Like fourth, the management could suspend operations after midnight until the plant could be relocated. Again, the relocation, Nihar, try to understand that relocation is going to cost a lot of money for the management. 100 crores has been already invested here. So I think by the time they will be relocated, it is going to cost a lot of years. Yes or no? बहुत time लग जाएगा. ठीक है. Yes, environmental में what is happening to the environmental? Nothing has happening. It has been already taken into account now, because when the management decided, when the local authorities have this one, the issue was also try to understand here that the issue is not with the environment. The issue is what? The issue is with a lot of vibrations and the pollution. Okay, and yes, the noise pollution. Okay, that is mainly with the health of the people. That's right. That is not the issue. Environment. Because remember, if the for the growth, you need to cut down the plants and everything. Okay. Question number 8. The role of the environmental groups in this case can be best analyzed as. Okay. Let me share the recording here. Yes, recording. So if I go for question number 8, what I can see is 13% of your mark option number 1, 6% of your mark 2, 6% of your mark 3, 45% this, and 16%. Now the question here is the role of environmental groups in this case can be analyzed as. Okay. Now, what is the role of the environmentalist? If you see it here. Okay. The environment, however, discussion with the management of EDC series, wherein the management explained the kind of technology that would be used in the plant, the environment tone down the resistance. Further, the groups prevailed upon the management to accommodate in its own workforce of the all employment groups, providing them with the livelihood. So basically, you can say the management didn't think at that point, sorry, the environmental groups didn't think at that point of the time, okay, that what problem might occur in the near future. So you can say it basically lacked foresight. Okay, when they saw, okay, that when they saw that this company, when the factory will be set up in their villages, okay, the 900 people is going to be employed, so they toned down, because it says they toned down the resistance because of all this advantage. When you see all this advantage and everything, so basically you can say they lacked foresight here. Okay, they lacked foresight. Also, the another thing which has happened here in the passage, that once they identified the problem, which is given in the probably last paragraph. Okay. However, the cost of closing the plant outweighed the benefits to be gained by the residents. So they did not think about this one. They are directly telling the management that to shut down the factory and everything. So they are again not thinking about, okay, that if the factory is going to be closed down, what is going to happen? What is going to happen to the 900 local residents? So they are not thinking on that lines also. Okay. So that's why the correct answer should be ideally option number 1. They were impractical and lacked foresight. They did not think, okay, what is going to happen if the factory is going to be shut down. Okay. So the answer should be actually this one. So the answer option number 4, I do not know. I think it's a very, very general statement. They were perceptive and without ideological biases and wanted the good of all concerned. Any doubts in any of the options? They are not looking at the consequences. Can I move to the next question? Question number 9. 5. They were competent enough to understand and confront the nuances of the industrializing culture. Now, again, the reason here is like money as they are competent enough to know, they are not competent enough to understand. ठीक है, वो नहीं थे competent. Had they been competent enough, this problem should have not arisen at all. And they basically, okay, authority saying for they are perceptive and with ideological biases and wanted to good of all the concerned. How can you say that? If they wanted to, okay, Atul, if they wanted to the good of all the concerned, try to understand. If they wanted good of all the concerned, so did they think about this one? If the factory is going to shut down, what is going to happen to those 900 people? If they are really concerned about this one, no. So they are basically, you can say they are impractical and lacked foresight. Yes, yes, that's right. First, they agree with the tech that was company was using, so it was good for the company, and then they asked to employ the villagers. Then later on, why not 4? But tell me one thing: did they think about this one? What is going to when you are saying read the entire thing, read the entire passage. When they are asking the management to shut down the factory, what is going to happen to the 900 people? Think this one. Do you think the environmentalists should? Don't you think that the environmentalists should also think about those 900 people? What is going to happen to them? उन्होंने इसके बारे में तो सोचा ही नहीं ना. Who is going to employ them? But they are working on the complaint. But then in that case, okay, if they are working on the complaint, so that's perfectly right. Okay. But tell me one thing, don't you think that they were very, very impractical? Okay, is it in favor of the villagers if the factory is going to be shut down? Please tell me. Shutting down the factory, for example, are you working, Subha? Somewhere or not? Yes. So let's say suddenly one day your company decided to fire the, let's say, 1,000 people or maybe 500 people, which is happening nowadays on a regular basis. Okay. What is going to happen then? Yes, that's right. So think about that point of view, because they lack foresight, and that is completely impractical decision. Instead of that, they should try to solve it. Okay, such that probably which was given in the last question. Okay, they should have thought about this thing. The option number 3, the management could sustain the operation. They should think about this. What is going to happen to these people? And again, they tone down the resistance. Remember the word, the uses of this time. They tone down the resistance. Why? Because initially they thought that it is going to be beneficial for all of them. So they lack foresight. उन्होंने इतना नहीं सोचा starting में कि okay, that problem might arise later on also. What kind of problem they will face in the future? Question number 9. Let's see. First of all, the responses. Question number 9. 32% of you said the management, 10% of you said the workers union, and 6% if you say this one, 26% of you said this, and 10% of you said both. I think in one of the sessions, probably in the very first session I discussed also, in such a scenario, who is going to play a major role? I have given you an example of Maruti also. Who is going to play a major role? Is it going to be the management or a worker union? किसी भी factory में, who is going to play the major role? You must have seen a lot of movies. ठीक है, if the worker union is not happy with the management, then you can't do anything in the factory. कर सकते हो कुछ भी? So it says, in an ideal situation, and evaluating the above case as an outsider, which of the following agency involved in the case has the potential to play the most important role in the solution as well as in the process to arrive at? Okay. When you are saying the management, or as a matter of the fact, the code and everything, okay. If yes, that's right. The answer should be the workers' union only. In any major company, okay, the worker union, yes, in this case, worker union approach to the court, that's right. Okay. Even if the court has given some decision, but court will also think from the workers' point of view. So worker union always play a major role in most of the companies, I say. Okay. If the workers are not happy, then probably the company might not survive. Final decision lies, okay, definitely final decision lies on the management, but management can't take any decision. Okay, management can't take any decision which is not favorable for the worker union. That's it. Let's say what will happen if all these people decided to go for a strike. The court asked the management to decide the but again, Subham, the court is asked the management to decrease the vibration and pollution, but decreasing the valves. What is the question? The question is not about decreasing the vibration and the pollution. The question is how to cope up with this particular situation which has been arising. ये है major problem. Yes, you can say that the workers could only complain, they can't take any decision, but let's say the management is taking any decision. And if the management is taking any decision and the workers unions are not happy, then what will happen, Sipali, in that case? Probably they will burn allies with the management team. किसी को जिंदा जला देंगे. So whatever it has been happening in the company, they should take in confidence. Even the management is going to take the confidence in worker unions, everything. So worker union is going to play a major role here in this entire solution. Okay. Let's say what will happen that the worker union decided that they are not going to work at all because they are local workers. So in such type of cases, the worker union plays a major role. Okay. Is that clear? But try to understand, Subham. You are saying if somehow management controls the pollution, but management is already using the cut-throat technology, the latest technology. If you read the last paragraph, management is already doing. So, अब तो pollution पे कुछ control है ही नहीं. The suit asked the court issue an injunction that would close down the plant until the pollution and vibration could be eliminated. The company was already using the best available technology, which means that the basically suit was asking that the plant be closed down indefinitely. Okay. You got it now? Yes, that might happen, Rajendra, that side. Okay. So can I move to the next question and the last question? Which of the following decision of the court would be considered justified? Okay. Let's see the result. The last question number 1. That is 23%, 16%. Third option 10%, 6%, 4,000, and 19%. Which of the following decision of the court could be considered just? Okay, the first option. It says the court issues an order to immediately discontinue the operations at the cement plant. Now, if you are going to discontinue the operations at the cement plant, so it is going neither beneficial to management or the factory owner or nor to what? The person who has been employed there. Yes, sir. So basically the first option, discontinuing the operation, it is neither beneficial to the management nor to the employees. Okay. Why? Because the company has already tried to, because company is already using the latest technology, so they had already tried to eliminate the noise and pollution, and they have failed. So that's why the answer can't be option number 1. And option number 2 also for that reason, because यहाँ पे the court issues an order to immediately discontinue operations. Is that clear to all of you? The first 2 options can't be the answer. Okay. But discontinuing the operation, it is beneficial to none of the parties, both the parties. Third, okay, the court issues an order to suspend operations at the cement plant and ask the management, locals, and environmental groups to substantiate their claim of pollution and the harmful effects and stipulates 4 weeks to do that. Okay. Option number 5. Option number 4. The court allows the plant to continue operation and asks the management to pay a one-time compensation to the residents. The compensation is equal to the market rate for the resident properties. Okay. 5th, it says the court allows the plant to continue operation but makes it mandatory for the management to provide alternate housing for the affected villages at places not affected by noise and pollution. Okay. So what should be the answer among option number 3, 4, 5? Option number 4, I think the better is option number 4, not option number 5. Look, option number 4 and 5, both of them are saying one of the same thing, but the problem is here, that in option number 5, the court is actually asking them that to shift the entire villages. And here, the compensation is equal to the market rate for the residents' properties. So I think in that case, what will happen? That probably anyone who wanted to shift, they can shift on their own. That will be much better option. Instead of, because shifting each and every person from that village to some other villages, it is going to be again not beneficial to the justified to the management actually, the factory. Yes. Yes, that's right. So remember, it should be considered just. So when you are saying that it could be considered just, so it should be justified to both the parties, not only to the only one of them. So I think the answer should be option number 5 is basically it is unjust to the management. It might be possible that management might not be able to cover the cost. Definitely, it will make it simplify, comfortable. We are talking about the villagers, that's right, not about the employees. That's perfectly right, Ashima. Okay, Rajendra, so remember one thing. We're talking about not the employees, but the villagers actually. The villagers who are getting affected by all this situation. Shifali is saying, why are we not considering the pollution caused in the residential area? We are talking about that only. No? That's why we are talking about the villagers. In almost everywhere we are talking about the villagers, residents only. Shifali. Because we are not talking about the employees. So Rajendra, we are not talking about the employees, we are talking about the local residents who are getting affected. So unke liye, I think the option number 4 suits the best because it is beneficial for both of them. Okay? Both the parties, management as well as the workers. जो भी compensation, but the residents are employees, so in that case, try to understand that, but not all, all the employable residents, only the who are employable. You are saying third para, but giving them compensation? No, but if you are ready for that, then what is the issue in that? Giving money is not a temporary. They are giving the money, they are giving the compensation. By using that compensation money, they will be able to shift to some other locations, Shifali, in that case. Okay. For example, in any company, if you are going to work at some other places, if your company is sending you to some other places, वो तो आपको ये भी बोलते हैं ना, they give you a compensation for that also or not. If they are sending you to the US or UK, they give you the compensation in that case. So that's why I think the correct answer should be option number 4. Okay? Because it is justified for both the parties. Option number 5 may, it will become very much costly actually. If they are giving the compensation to discuss it, they can shift to the other places. Now, This is a confusing one. That's right. You can say that. But if you say ideal and practical among fourth and fifth और fourth में कौन सा ideally होना चाहिए? Subhasis, still, if it is a confusion, which one is the ideal? Just shifting all of them, or it's better to give them this one compensation, and they can decide okay whether they want to shift it to someone. नहीं, मतलब it is just a quote. Is the question is among the given option, I need to choose the best option. Had it been there will be some better option, I would have marked that, Rajendra. But among the given options, I think this is the best one. Because they are going to give the compensation. Okay. शुभम तो फिर क्या मार्क करे फिर मान लो उन्होंने फिर से मांग किया then what should we do? So I'm saying stick to this one from among the given 5 option choices which is there. ठीक है, option number 4, yes, that's option number 4 is the best possible option. Like I told you, there is no that in the yesterday session also, the last session I told you, there is no right or no wrong. Every answer, every option has a shades of grey. So among those, you need to identify what is the best possible option. So that's why you can say that option number 4. Option number 5 is the only disadvantage with the option number 5 is that it is going to be very, very costly for the listener. So maybe it is unjust for the management. It is just for the villagers, but it is unjust for the management. Whereas in option number 4, it is just for this. Okay, now if you had any doubts in any of the questions, we can discuss that. Question number 6. Yes, what is the doubt in question number 6? In the first 2 lines, you are saying Sultanpur was 60 miles away from the industrial area. Yes, means there was an industrial in the nearby locations which could have been bought. Yes. Then what do you want to say, Rajendra? इससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? License given to the but who is going to give the license to the ADC cement? Tell me, who is going to give the license to the ADC cement? ये बताओ ना option. The location of the plant. The location. Now remember one thing. Okay, location of the plant. So is it necessary that the location of the plant? Okay, at times what happens if there is a one industrial town in the nearby area also a new industrial town is going to be developed. So for the development of that particular reason, that might be the answer. So that's why I say even the location of the plant, the main point here is the government has agreed to the location of the plant. Because whenever you are going to set up a factory, you need to get a permission from the government. If the government doesn't agree with the location of the plant, then in that case, you can't open the factory at that particular location. So, if they have chosen the location of the plant, so it means ideally the government has agreed. Government should have not allowed in that particular location. They should have thought about that. Okay. Any other doubts or queries to anyone? Alright. So we'll end this session here. Alright. Tomorrow we are going to discuss XAT 2017 paper, quant section. Alright. I'll upload this videos by tomorrow morning. And try to utilize your weekends, try to write some test, full length test or maybe section test based on a snap. Okay. So good night to all of you. Remember one thing, it's a confusing section decision making, but after doing a lot of discussion is needed. So that's why I keep saying that participate in the discussion. Each one of you should participate in the discussion. SIBM Pune, I think last year there was no sectional cutoff. Okay, there was an overall cutoff 98 something for SIBM Pune, 98%. Score, so it's difficult to guess the score. They do not disclose that as you know. Okay, guys. So good night to all of you. We'll be meeting tomorrow.
Music